pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, chance to look over the minutes.
Move to approve, Dave.
Yeah,
I'll second.
then we get a second. All in favor? Aye. We'll have a chance to look over the claims.
So we got all the permits from Bungie already? Nice.
Yes, and speaking while you're looking at that, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but every time somebody calls in to make a payment or we run a debit card in office, we're paying that fee
Oh,
as a town. We are not charging them a fee, so on Bungie's, I charge them a 4% fee and I charge them a 3% fee. And going forward, when I got the interchange from First Merchants, it'll be 2.5 to make it even. Because it cost us almost $500 to run their $16,000 bill. So everybody that calls, that I take their payment over the phone, regardless if I'm writing their number down or if they're swiping their card, we are paying a fee. We're paying $300 almost a month for us to run those. I've talked to lots of other clerk treasurers in the state. They don't take payments over the phone unless they're charging a fee, because why are we responsible for their credit card fee? Does that make sense? You either go online, you drop your check, or you send a check from your bank
we're
online.
not paying that fee?
We are.
I mean-
You as a water user,
Yeah.
the town pays $300 a month, at least, that's our
The
average,
service the credit.
to service
Yeah.
that. So that's,
Seriously, there's a lot of places that you pay by credit card and it says
X amount of
credit
fee.
fee.
So I can, we can base the fee off of that. We can stop taking payments over the phone. If I take people off that do they want the fee or do they want to take the payment over the phone? But I know, like I told Lane, I took her the thing and I said, every time Bungie comes in, we have to charge them at least 2.5%. Because we would have paid their $500 fee
For that amount.
for that, yeah, because it was like 16 grand.
Isn't it 3%?
I charge them 3, but when I get the interchange, it tells you what each type of credit card is. So, I don't know if we just need a flat dollar, so we're at least making something back, or they can drop a check, a money order, cash, however we want to word it, we need to figure something out because,
Everywhere I've gone, it was a service fee. It seems like there's always something for a credit card.
right,
I think we probably ought to follow up on that instead of get behind the times, because at some point, it's gonna catch up to us.
that's why I charged them that 3%, I was like, we're not being responsible for
Well, I
this.
think we ought to do that. I mean, is that,
Yeah, you're entitled to do that across the board, and it's not uncommon, even when you make online payments for utilities.
We have a third party that they pay for that.
You will see, if you do this through your checking account, nothing, if you use a credit card, it's gonna cost X and that sort of thing. Because,
So-
all of the credit card processors do charge a fee for the processing of things.
I say we match the fee the bank's hitting us with. I mean, we don't need to make any money on it.
No, and that's, I'm not trying to make,
We
I
need to
just,
cover our tail, and that's
Yeah.
my
that's an
motion.
expense we don't need
Yeah,
to be.
it can't be a profit center.
Right.
No.
You just
I'll make
pass
a
the
motion
cost.
that we
I'll
add
start.
that service
Okay.
fee. I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second.
Any second?
Do any kind of posting or?
This is a routine business, no. I don't even think an ordinance is required. What I do suggest you do is post this policy change on your website.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Question on the bills.
Yes.
Down here where it says SPG roofing and exteriors, that's not for the windows at Crane Building, is it? That's their roof.
That's their deposit. SPG Roofing is the company
That's
doing
half.
the windows.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Cardinal Roofing that's doing the roof.
Right.
And SPG Roofing is doing the they bid the whole building, but they only got the windows because of their pricing on the roof.
Right. I make a motion to pass the bills.
I'll second.
Ralph seconded. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Old business? Okay. New business, I've got approval for the Morristown Chamber to close a portion of North Street, same as previous years for the adult government.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any other discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, right of way east, Industrial Drive and Central Parkway.
Wait, missed one. Go back.
The trailer behind the station.
Keep going top, keep going bottom to top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just,
He's just
Yeah.
jumping in.
So what's this, the, Josh,
east Industrial Drive.
is that Josh with, Integrity File,
That's what I'm
Metals?
figuring that is,
I think that's Josh, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay, so what's he wanna do?
He's having trucks pull off on his lot and set on mine. I mean, there's no parking through there, so they're pulling off the street. Is that right, Brad?
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up during myself. I have moved in the last 3 weeks, at least 6 semis. They're all delivering to Conway. And the one last night, even though the gates were open, was advised that he could park there because we wouldn't do anything. So Caldwell's the one that requested those signs to be in there, to be there to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I'm making a move over to Caldwell's other lot, is what I do. I'm not writing them as of right now.
That's my deal, the truck driver's riding.
Yeah, so
Because
that's
traffic
pretty
light real quick.
much the next step, because it's become, it was like once a month, now it's getting to be multiple times a week that I'm writing it.
Okay, this is a right of way for fiber optic. I didn't see that one. So,
Yeah, I think we got two different conversations.
yeah, we got two things going on here.
I got it.
This is everything.
Okay, let's deal with Brad's when we come up to Brad.
Yeah.
And deal with this one right now about the utilities. Any big deal with putting up,
Is this 9-star, Brad?
The industrial park, yes, it would be 9-star or AT&T business, depending on who the deliverer is.
Have you talked to me more about fiber optics on that side of town that we never got?
I've requested to have someone come and no one's replying.
well, why don't we hold off until we get somebody from over there here? Gotta be a little more leverage. If they wanna have this, they need to come into a meeting. And he's communicating with them.
Is this to extend the line, or is this the one that's, is this where Josh is doing, or Triple J Container is doing the work?
I don't know. Josh, is that
Just
what,
says
is that with,
Utilities
Doesn't
one.
say.
Did Josh Integrity know?
no, it says Josh with Utilities One, calling about a right-of-way permit for fiber optics at 650 East Industrial.
So that's probably a board.
And it's along Industrial Drive and Central Parkway. Industrial Drive, Central Parkway comes up there. So that's what, is that for the container place?
I'm trying to look at that now.
We got a number here.
I think you need more information.
Yeah.
got a phone number here, Steve.
They don't make a motion, we table this until we find out more.
Motion to table,
So moved.
second. Any discussion on it? All in favor?
Who wants to get in contact? Can we have,
Let's have Brad do it.
Ray, can you get a hold of them, see what they want?
What they're doing.
Come to a meeting, find out what they're doing. I'd rather have them at a meeting personally, but.
You said it's 635 industrial?
650.
650 East Industrial, along Industrial Drive and Central Parkway.
That would be Park 100.
Yeah, that's by Park 100. Let's either Park 100 or,
It could be born on the north side for Bungie also. I don't know, if that's all that same area.
on the north side. Okay.
Big.
Same thing? All in favor? Okay.
While Dave, while you're on that topic,
Huh?
while you're on that topic of boring, that is something that's come up through the broadband board, is that they're trying to get a universal type policy and procedure for approving boring, which would help with expansion of broadband. If there's some type of one place in time that they file all those boring permits for whatever the community is, and then, you know, there's a fee and a package that we just hand that board, and all those are taken at the same time every month, and then that's all handled at once. That's something that's been brought up to the county, it's trying to streamline that process
Okay.
for road cuts and underground boring and all that, to speed that process up.
Okay. Approval to park a 48-foot trailer on empty
A lot
lot by fire station. Chuck Saunders here.
He's just a truck driver, it looks like. I mean, I don't know for sure, but
Has he talked
I think he's
to,
had a park back here before.
has he talked to Charlie about parking over at the other 48, 53-foot trailers? That's sitting over there?
oh,
I think we just have to be careful what we allow one person to do, you're gonna have to allow others to
Well,
do.
not only that, I mean, we're going with these containers around back here.
we need to do something with those.
Yeah.
Move them, get rid of them, sell them. Nothing being done with them. Start looking out. As are many other people, because they're questioning what's the deal with containers and Morristown. I'd put a hold on that until we find out a little bit more about what's going on. I mean, like, Tammy just said, if we let one, we gotta let them all.
You know, you got
I don't wanna be a parking lot.
camping trailers, everything else.
There you go. I mean, no. No.
So is it no, maybe so?
Find out more.
What do you want to do?
Personally, I say no.
That's what I am.
I say no. My motion is no.
I'll second that. Any other discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Looks like you're up, Morgan.
Okay. I gave you guys, it's like just a sheet, it starts with Pitney Bowes. So we pay for this wonderful machine to sit in our office to stuff our envelopes once a month. We pay to lease it. Last year, we paid almost $4,500 to lease it, $3,400 in postage, $2,200 in envelopes, and we spent over $3,000 in paper. I gave you a total. So I talked to Boyce, they're the system company that we use now that I do all of our billing out of. I do all of our everything. They can mail them out for us for a fraction of the cost. So I put in there what their quote is. What happens is I run the bills as normal. I upload everything the same. Everything goes to the website. The only difference is instead of me running that machine, and we only run it 12 times a year, they mail them out in bulk. We currently pay 64 cents in bulk mail at the U.S. Post Office here in Morristown. They're making us also go to online payment, or she told us to rent a meter machine and keep it in our office. They will send them out for 30 cents per bill. So from 64 cents to 30 cents, they have a one-time setup fee of $1,045. And I'm not gonna do the standard disconnect. I would not request that because we put them on our doors. So people don't.
30 cents plus postage.
No,
That's what it says here. With return envelope, 30 cents each plus postage.
that's right. But that's their bulk. He said 30 cents that goes out.
Okay, that's with the return envelope.
Yes, 28 if we don't do a
I
return.
got you.
So we get their, rate instead of ours, because they're sending out probably hundreds of thousands of these,
Now, is this one-time setup, is that annually or is that?
One
just
time.
One time.
one time. Because I called him and I said, what's the catch? Like, what am I missing here? And he said, that's it. We set it up one time, you upload it, the same way I do everything else. Instead of me printing every paper off and stuffing them, they print them in through their line.
You just run it off the computer to them.
Yep. So, if you guys can look at that, I just brought that. And then, Dee Dee emailed me and said, Town Council approved $20,000 to be paid to the Morristown Community Development Partnership to go towards the handicap accessible playground. She has the invoice and she wants to know when the check will be ready. Do we know when we approved this, or so I can find it in the minutes?
It was
Or if does anybody remember if we approved this?
We did.
It was approved, it back in the minutes, probably September, August.
June or July, somewhere in there.
So start looking in the fall, and it was 20?
Look at the summer, look at the end of the summer. It was 2023 we approved it.
Because I've been looking through them, and if I could at least narrow it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he was paying, how that was being paid, like Racino, or?
That was
I think
one.
it was Racino,
I think it was Racino.
Do you still have anything in the park?
I can look.
I mean, just look at different.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was already,
I
you
think
guys
the
had
only
across the
thing
board.
budgeted in the park is like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's not a lot. Okay, so I didn't know, it's a really big book of minutes to look through. But that's all I got, Ben.
We guys, you want to keep looking at the building thing, or you want to?
I'm ready to vote on that. We can save half of what, or it's gonna be over half of what we're doing, anything, trim down some administrative fees.
Right.
I think motion approved.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Perfect, I'll contact them and get moving.
Okay. Legal.
I have prepared a resolution, as we know, the town marshal has indicated some health issues and basically a short-term disability. I can read this quickly, it's relatively short. Resolution, whereas the town marshal, Henry Elbrick of the town of Morristown, Indiana, has taken a leave of absence under temporary disability related to health issues, and whereas the function of the office requires day-to-day management, intention, and operational control, and whereas the office of town marshal is ultimately under the direction and guidance of the town council, now therefore it is resolved by the Morristown Town Council acting as the Public Safety Board that Brad Tritterpoe, Deputy Marshal of Morristown Town Police Department, is hereby named Interim Town Marshal. Deputy Tritterpoe shall serve in the capacity of Town Marshal of the Town of Morristown, Indiana, during the leave of the current Town Marshal, Henry Elbrick, or until otherwise directed by the Town Council. I note something, and this is just a footnote. In looking at the ordinances of Morristown today, they say Safety Board. Generally speaking, it's Public Safety Board, but
Right.
I don't know that that matters much, but, so I have prepared that resolution for your consideration.
And we have to do this to be legal, guys.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any other discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. I don't know, I was gonna discuss some of that with you guys tonight, just a little bit.
My understanding is it's.
Is it back at Oyster now?
Need two signatures?
Yeah, just sign it.
That's, Christy and I met with them and he said it was back here. I haven't looked, but
So you have any idea how long it's gonna be out?
It could be a long time.
I think the original was 3 months.
March 1st.
Last year's been
March
some other
something.
things come
The
up.
last thing I had was April.
Last time I talked to them, something they'd been doing before it screwed them up. It's gonna take a while to straighten them out.
I think the last time I talked to him, we had the 3 months thing, and I think it may extend well past that.
Fine. He just kind of said he's waiting to see what they do, you know, every checkup.
I got a question about that. What will he have to turn into us? So he can come back full time.
The answer to that is, what you require, one would typically expect that he would have a release from a treating physician saying that he could, you know, it's a typical return to duty. If there are other requirements you have, then they should be conveyed to him.
I think you guys have conveyed some of the requirements. He needs to take care of himself and get right.
Is that an adequate answer to your question? Yeah.
Yes.
Usually, like when we, like for work, if I get a patient that wants to return to work, it's usually something that says, you know, released to full-time duty with no restrictions, or released to return with XYZ restrictions, and they can be as specific or as vague sometimes, so if we wanted to say something specific, I think we need to tell them that when the time comes.
Yeah, it's,
So if Brad is now gonna be the town marshal, does he get paid at town marshal rate?
Interim town marshal.
So keep him still as
Well,
a,
I'm just pointing out.
right, so I wanted to make sure, I wanna make sure I'm
He's
paying
not
him
an elected
right.
town marshal, he's an interim town marshal. What his compensation is entirely up to you. I don't make policy, I don't make decisions. My suggestion is that this move comes with additional duties and burdens, and
It's
I'm
25 cents.
assuming
Oh.
that,
So I mean, I've got the salary already written, I'm just,
and
it's
I'm
25 cents,
assuming
but I
that
wanted.
the town marshal is now receiving at least short-term disability, so.
he's in the process.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to give Brad the town marshal salary.
Second.
Got a second? Any other discussion on that? All in favor? Okay, right, anything else?
Nothing, I mean, the plan commission, there will be a variance request by Bungie because their silo that's under construction exceeds the height restriction in the UDO. I will work with your building inspector and we're gonna walk them through the variance process. And since the UDO is undergoing review, it strikes me that, again, it strikes me that the height restriction in the industrial park is too low.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've had to vary before.
Yeah.
For some,
I think some of their others.
It's 95 feet, as I recall, and the construction will go to 138 feet.
That should just be a pass through.
I would think so.
Okay. Police Department, Brad?
So we had to send back the northbound radar sign that we just received. It was throwing some errors as far as tracking, and it was also having some issues with some of the built-in software. So we've sent it back. They picked it up on Monday. I believe it's a couple-week return. Has to go to Texas and make its way back here, so it will be hopefully back soon. What I did, though, is I did pull the information off of the signs that we had before that, and there's some interesting statistics, I personally feel. So the sign actually reads north and southbound, both of them do, so it can actually follow traffic going north and southbound. So the stuff you're going to see here is both directions of travel. So this was pulled from January 11th to the 31st, because that's the first day that we installed the southbound facing sign. It's set at 20 mile an hour, and I've got it set to consider a violation speed at 27 miles an hour most hours of the day, except for 7 a.m. to around 8:30 a.m. in the morning for school, and then in the afternoon from about 2:45 to 4 o'clock, 4:30. I give it a lower speed to notify people, so that's where the smiley faces and sad faces come from that we've got a lot of comments on. So this is kind of interesting here is the number of cars that travel Washington Street between the 11th and the 31st, so it's not even a complete month, but we have 14,692 targets. That is anything moving faster than 6 miles an hour. So as you can see, it's pretty close. North and south traffic is pretty close. Then we get into, again, we see the same thing, but then we have under the speed limit. So 31% of our vehicles traveling on Washington Street are traveling under the speed limit, so 20 miles or less in both directions. Now, over 27 mile an hour, we have approximately, you can see the two differences. So away from the sign, meaning southbound traffic is 12.87% or over 27, and northbound is 8.38. Then we have our averages here of our average speed that we see, so between 22 and 23 miles an hour with a give or take. Maximum speed though, we did have a 75 mile an hour. That is, I believe, away, so that's northbound. So that is one coming in from the south going northbound that we picked up. We have maximum of 39 going southbound, so that's doing pretty good coming off of 52 going southbound. And this is just with the highest rating at the speed that the sign will register. And then this actually shows the breakdown of the times that we see those violations. So we have an upkick around 5 to 6 a.m., 126 vehicles traveling between 26 and 30 mile an hour. 22 all the way up to 41 to 45 miles an hour. And then it's kind of quiet until we get to about 9 o'clock or so, and then we jump back up again till 5 o'clock in the evening. At 5 o'clock in the evening, it drops back off. Our 75 mile an hour was between 11 and noon. So that's a pretty populous time of, people out and about and moving around. But as you can see, the 26 to 30, our biggest upkick is right here from 2 to 3 o'clock. 216 vehicles were running between 25 and 30 mile an hour.
Which direction is that?
That's just total.
Oh, just total.
Yep, total both directions.
School?
Probably, that'd be just before they leave school. Leaving school is around 139 vehicles that are going through that speed. And then it kind of drops off again towards midnight. But yeah, these are our big times here. You're seeing like 600 and some hits between 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5 o'clock, all the way down to 6.
But
So,
our average speed's 25.
yeah, give or take about 23, 25.
Do you feel that the signs are working?
Yeah, I can actually tell you they are, because just sitting down there, that since the one sign on the south is missing, that the southbound traffic's moving faster
Okay.
than the northbound traffic's moving faster than the southbound traffic,
Okay.
because they're not running into the sign coming into town. Does it stop it? No, but it at least reminds you. That's kind of the idea behind the smiley and the sad faces.
Well,
Is
more
more
slow
for the,
down from suppose what we perceived.
Yeah.
To what we're doing now.
and the smiley and the sad faces are more for the kids to remind mom and dad how fast they're driving than it is for
the adults.
Daddy, why is that, Brandon?
Yeah.
Well, flashes sometimes, that red and blue light.
Yeah, the red and blue light comes on at
When I
the
come into town, I'm
threshold.
like, somebody's pulled over, like,
Yeah,
was it?
yeah, that's at the threshold speed. Yeah.
It was me.
But you can see, we, of course, if you look at our numbers, yeah, we have a higher number that are within the, that are under the speed limit than we do the excessive speed, but there is still, 1,500 vehicles that were exceeding that speed limit. So, but yeah, personally, the big thing was this number right here. I was really surprised by that we had that much traffic,
In less than a month.
yeah, coming in town that much. So
That's a lot.
that is a lot.
And I'd say if you're 20 and you got an average 25, that's, I'm not thinking that's too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But I think this will be handy for when it comes to projects, deciding paving and major use roads, things like that. I think this will be pretty handy for that. And then eventually looking at maybe North Street with the hill being another location to have one, and eventually US 52 would probably be another handy one to have. But they are.
I'd like to see what this is in 6 months.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like this review, and I'd like to see that every month, as we can, or every 2 months.
Yes,
So
that's
so we can get a feel for what's going on.
Yep, that's easy enough to do.
I think these are well enough, and when you get 2 more of these, get started somewhere else.
And they take about, our last ones took, I believe, 8 to 12 weeks to show up.
So this runs 9 to 10 grand?
They were $2,000 a piece, they were almost $3,000 a piece.
Better, I thought.
Because
I mean, for our money's worth, we're getting.
If we slow down and save one life, it's worth it. No, we haven't hit anybody there, but
He's on 52.
52 would be the,
The park, we need them out there by the park.
And this is something I've heard some talk of, this is something that we can also use when it comes to grants and things like that for roadway improvements and for safety downtown, things like that. We can pull these numbers and then say that, yeah, we can actually prove for a fact
they work.
why we're asking for what we're asking for and why we're, asking for different things in different areas.
Yeah, on 52, you probably need 2 of them.
If you got that many cars on Washington Street, how many get on 52?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Trucks.
Wow.
The last estimate I heard on 52, semi-wise, was 500 semis a day. And that's before we had the construction, so I can only imagine what it's. And that was 500 average, that's not during grain season or anything like that.
We're usually doing 200, we count, we're doing over 250 a day, just standing on our hands.
And I did stop a truck the other day for 51 coming through town, so we had a discussion.
If we do 52, I think we need 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion about 2 more.
2 or 4. You need 1 coming, 1 going. 2? Well, I'm
thinking like
1 at each end, because they tend to accelerate as they go through town, especially the hill. I know that's kind of
coming down the hill's awful.
oh yeah. Then as soon as they hit the flat, they're still moving out pretty quick. Because I don't hear brakes squalling.
And once they're by it, they're by it.
Back to Dave's house.
Yeah.
So you said 4, you
I'm saying
thinking like
4,
2 on each side.
2 on each side of the
Exactly.
road. One.
I think
right in the
actually
middle,
you need one in the middle of town, either coming in or going out. Am I
That
right?
would be a decent location, midway, you could say midway for the downtown traffic.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
To, not so when they blow by it on the top of the hill and go, yeah.
Yeah, about
It reminds them again,
4,
wherever.
4, what I'd say.
a motion by Bull's.
And they're 3 apiece, right? And they're about 3 red lines, okay, then yeah.
Does that come out of the safety fund?
Well, I mean, you could probably even pull it out of street roads, you could probably
Whatever
pull it out
was
of.
justified way.
Yeah,
MHB or?
yeah, you probably do MHV, you could probably do safety, you could do, yeah. I think there's several accounts you could probably pull it out of.
You need to mix it up.
Yeah, for so much from each.
All right.
Okay.
A motion for 4. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Make it happen.
There was also some comments on Facebook about a vehicle doing 120 down Washington Street the other night. I pulled those numbers, and the top speed, we had 3 vehicles move through there at that time frame, and it was max speed of 37 miles an hour going southbound.
They were probably going faster than.
I'm sure they went faster. Once they got past it, at least coming south from 52, they were at 37 mile an hour. So I did pull that one, just to make sure. So
Now, if they're drag racing, it just picks up one of them.
it will pick up both lanes. It will do that, so.
Cool.
So like we were talking about in the industrial park, the parking issue over here, pull it up here. Codwell was the one who requested that we have this no parking area, and it is right in here. We have no parking signs here to the railroad tracks and then back down again. Now, I've had 3 semis park right here,
That's on.
simply because we do not have a no parking sign right there. So they're parking in front of the no parking sign, but claiming that, or behind them, and they're claiming there's not one in front of them, so that's why they're allowed to park there.
I give a ticket just for being smart asses.
So that is, we do need to add one, right there in that area. It's right about here, and you can see how the dirt, this is an old picture, and you can see. But this is all well numbered, well posted. But we just need one more here. But this is where they're parking at. For Codwells, they generally park right here or right in this area. If an Integrity truck comes in, I move them to right in front of Integrity's gate and tell them to stay there.
If they're bringing in the nighttime loads, why don't they have a parking lot for their nighttime roads?
That was my next comment. They do not, they're not telling their truck drivers where to park. Used to, what we did is we parked everybody right here. But we no longer have that.
No.
And then apparently we had an issue. I was moving trucks over to the new parking area right here. And security is running them off at night because they've been told that unless it's a bungee delivery, they're not allowed to park there.
Well, it is buggy property.
Yeah, so we've got no place for these trucks to park.
Is that our responsibility?
Why don't Caldwell's open the gate up?
Yeah.
Well, the truck driver last night advised me that he was told that the road is too rough. So that's why that they're not allowing trucks to park on the inside of the property. So what I have to do is I have to get them turned around, and I've ran into more than one truck driver that cannot back up a semi. And we end up over here eventually, and this is where I'm parking them at.
Is that Caldwell?
Yeah,
Through their trucks, huh?
yeah. It's their deliveries. It's not Codwell trucks, but that's who.
But it's for Caldwell. Well, that's where it ought to go.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's some type of letter we need to address to the company to advise that they need to advise in their, delivery notes that they need to park there if it's after hours or.
Will it be on them?
Everybody has to provide their own parking.
Why don't we fire off a letter to Caldwell? Tell them, look, your delivery trucks are hindering traffic.
Mhm.
And we need to get some no parking signs up. Isn't that on Parkwood Hunters property? Or not?
No, that's Triple J Container.
Triple J.
Codwell, and then whatever the new manufacturer is there that moved into the old electrician building, K and M or K and D.
Huh?
We can put them on our right away.
Why don't we put some signs up when we need it?
Yeah, we just need that one to show that entire path is, so they're not pulling in front of
Get
it.
it put up.
Yeah, I was gonna put up.
The next thing is there was 2 mandated laws or SOP, standard operating procedures, that came out last year that are to be added by law into our standard operating procedures. I forwarded those to Brian, he's got them, so he can update those and get those in there. One of them is for the new Indiana state pursuit policy that every agency in the state has to adhere to. Number 2 is the deadly force. There's now a statewide deadly force rule. So it used to be that it was individual by agency that you could make those rules. Now the state of Indiana has said that all agencies have to abide by the same rules when it comes to use of deadly force. So that is both of those need to be added into our SOPs in a pretty close future. Add those in.
Okay.
And then as far as,
Working on those?
yep. And then I believe, let's see here. I believe that's it as far as my maintenance issues. We don't have anything else coming up right now. Or I'm about, I believe 10,000 miles before the warranty runs out on the 2021. And then Tom's is around 90,000 on his. He's having some of the same electrical issues as we had with it to begin with. So that's the 2 issues with those right now.
Sure. Tongue tied something.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay. Wastewater, Ralph and I made some changes
Yeah.
with the wastewater department. These guys are not gonna be coming here unless they actually got something to report on. Sound about right?
Yeah.
We're in the process of fixing quite a few things with the waste treatment plant,
Cleaned up.
cleaned, straightened up.
We get some pumps on order or repaired.
They're doing that right now.
Uh,
Take care.
Gary's totally in charge of the water. What we say, Dave's park,
Dave's green space.
green space park, all that. Greg is machinery, streets, and,
Whatever.
yeah,
Don's over the sewer, that's
on
all.
wastewater and sewer,
But they all still work together if they need.
yeah. And if they get to choose who they call for what, ever, and that way,
Don't want to get back into the situation we had way back in the.
yeah. 'Cause we don't, it's not so much you need a supervisor, as you need 4 guys that can get along and work together.
Get the job done.
I think it's gonna work fine. A little rough getting going, but it's kind of the way we used to do it, and I think it'll work better, don't you?
I think so.
So, and they were part of the suggestions how to do it, so. And now we got the park.
Here, Dave, I got something.
Yeah.
Morgan, give me this, I think we need, Dave and I need to get with Waste Management on the sludge removal. It went, the monthly bill up to about $3,000. I think it's a mistake on their billing part. Dave and I can get with them and find out.
What was it? It was how much before?
What was it, 1,000 something a month and went to 4162.
It's a big jump.
Dave, I'll take care of that.
Yeah. That it, bro?
Oh, I got it.
Dave's got anything on the park, or you been here? You're gonna work Friday on the building with the guys with the windows?
Yeah, and I've messaged the guys with the roof, I'm waiting to hear back what their status is. I haven't seen anything, I mean, they got the metal on the roof. Obviously, we can't see the roof, but I haven't heard that they've been out there or anything, so I messaged them, I'm waiting for a response. I'm asking them for a projected completion date of the roof. And then, I meet with SPG for the windows because there's some discrepancy on what they're saying they're gonna do versus what the quote was supposed to be for, so I wanna sit down with him face to face and figure it out.
We need someone, I've been told by some other towns I've talked to now, to write us a mission statement for that building and property. We need to decide if we want to use it for kids, community center, senior citizens, some kind of a mission statement, we're gonna try to do this building, that would help us get more grants to work on it with. And so we need someone to start working on that.
And I don't mind,
I can help. If you guys all wanna handle that, I'll be glad to let you.
Those two volunteers, they just volunteer.
But, that makes sense to me. If we've got a mission statement of the building, that makes it easier to take to people and say it's what they can do. And there are certain key words in mission statements that help you with grants, so. Okay. Revitalization.
He can't make it in tonight. She gave me kind of an update what's going on. Playground, this is as of February 5th. Playground was being installed as of that week. Invoices issued for the equipment only, not the labor. And they forwarded to the Morristown Community Matters for payment. Discussion already about the 20,000. Trees for the park, 17 have been planted, invoices have been received. Again, the invoice will be forwarded to Morristown Community Matters. Remainder will be planted in the spring. We'll work on the positions as we need. And then the Workman Family Grant, we were granted $25,000 for exercise equipment out at the park. There's an additional 10 grand they're going to work on for, I guess it's installation of that equipment for concrete pads for the exercise equipment, so that needs to be finished up. They, with the, again, that's through the Morristown Community Group, they've got to work on a financial statement for 23 to 24 yet for a budget. Blue River Foundation, spring grant cycle, interest, one was due March 1, is due March 1. Options for project for senior citizen, renovation, pickleball court, new interest of the board, there's others. Kind of mulling over things to work on that. There were some questions about early learning. I just read something from the Shelbyville paper about, they got like
you're talking about the preschool,
the preschool.
$250,000.
It's a $250,000 grant for a group to put in a early learning project.
They're gonna start a daycare at the school,
It's gonna be
0 to
school.
3.
So that kind of puts the other idea of what we were talking about, the group that put in the one that they're in Shelbyville and the preschool, and it's supposedly this one, the school Bundy's supposedly involved with at some point, are interested in it. So you probably might go get some more money out of them for that. But there was a thought that if the town was interested in possibly selling, leasing, whatever, some property to build a daycare center or whatever they have there in Shelbyville.
Currently, they're just, they use the old Kroger at Shelbyville, it's behind.
Didn't they, but there's something about wanting to build a new, for granting, like specific buildings.
Is there a new facility going in by the hospital across the road?
That's my thought, that's what I'm thinking of. That group, I've still got to get some contacts on. But if they get this one going at the school, that might be enough.
As of right now, they're just gonna use a couple classrooms, it's depending on how many
How
employees you
many
have and how many
employees.
kids there are.
I think you're going to be surprised.
I don't know.
They'll be surprised.
Yeah.
They'll be surprised, not you. Big question came about parking for downtown. Here's the thing. Patches is now vacant. There's somebody interested in renting that out, possibly another restaurant. They're gonna want the parking lot. The body shop, or the repair shop that's in there is wanting to use more parking of that lot. That lot is for the people that rent those buildings there. It's like for me, it isn't for anybody, but that extra parking may be something at some point.
Can I comment on that? So we had an incident with the guy with the garage now. And he said that starting this week, he was going to block off basically half of that parking spot, or half of that parking lot, and only he was able to use it. I don't know if that's something that the town controls, if that's something Bob controls.
That's all on Lisa. That's all on Lisa.
But if you're talking about a parking issue, he's about to create a bigger one, because he's,
That was,
And that's between him and the Owner of the.
Yeah,
That's,
and that's fine,
their
I
deal.
just-
That's their deal. That's where, we've talked about this, beat around the bush for several years, the green space between the bar and, the next building that's away there. Something to consider as a parking lot. It needs, downtown's gonna need it at some point in time. We still keep green space in the front, because we actually figured out how to do that several years ago. You could leave 30 or 40 feet up front, still have 30 parking spots well within that area. You have to enter from the alley. No big deal. But it's something I think we need to put a pin to, see what we can do. In saying that, we create more flat area, we create more runoff, we create more of a problem downstream, i.e. 52. We gotta start thinking about some drainage. I know the whole deal with the state and everything, Lee's got a pretty legit, it's been that way for 100 and some odd years, but it's something that needs to probably be addressed, is how we do runoff. And the engineers probably need to be brought in on that. I thought they were. I haven't heard anything from the state or anything.
I think they're taking their time.
Oh, they are taking their sweet time. But if we do something like that, we're gonna create more runoff.
Right.
And I know that everything runs to the sewer that runs in the alley, behind, the bar, we'll say. And it often gets overwhelmed, the way it is, so that's gonna have to be addressed, if that is something we want to tackle. Another idea that came up of interest there, are the building Ukrainians. Guess there's been a period of more and more interest in pickleball. I don't know the sport, but I guess it's something else. I mean, I've seen signs in Indianapolis, and they've got pickleball on these big highway signs, and is that something we're interested in?
I'm not interested in playing.
I don't want to play, but it's something that people like, whatever.
And we still have all that property to the north of the park
Get all that?
that is in our plans to develop, but, I mean,
Are you talking inside, outside?
It's outside, it's
Okay.
like, essentially,
it's
it's like a
like
tennis
ping
court.
pong, but
Yeah.
on a tennis court.
And no
Kind of
table.
laid out, look like, no, on a,
No,
Yeah.
it's like
No.
four square mixed with ping pong, mixed
mixed
with.
with tennis,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
court that you run
And you got a
around
big,
on,
and
and
you got a big ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
But we'll take that big,
it's kind of laid out like a ping pong table.
It's big. Anyway, that was brought up as a possibility. And supposedly we have some interest via Facebook,
Yes.
from people to help put that court in, i.e. Rocky was speaking with Barry and Phil. I would,
That really sounds like it's going somewhere.
I don't know, that's a lot of talk. He's talking to me. So anyway, there's that. There's another thing that's going on. Remember the last meeting we had and we talked about the bears?
Yes.
Well, I finally got some information on that. It's called, bears or hunting, going on a bear hunt. And what it is for Shelby County. And what they're wanting to do, they got these really, you've been over in Rushville and seen the lions. You've seen the bikes over in Greenfield.
Yeah.
Well, they want to do these bears that are kind of, fancy schmancy painted up, El Picasso, whoever. I'm thinking Dolly personally.
I'm still trying to figure the bike rack out.
It's for, that's the sign language. It's sign language.
Okay.
Hey, somebody gave us
Sign
the right to
language,
that
it
in.
says Shelby.
Yep, it's Shelby. It's an interesting work. I don't see why we wouldn't, it's all paid for. We're not doing anything. We just have to figure out where we want to put one out in the park. And possibly two. They're 6 feet tall, or wait a minute, there's 6 fiberglass bears, 5 feet. Will be professionally painted, sealed, and placed outdoors at the following locations, and it lists a whole bunch. We're part of that, our park.
You'll put them back in the woods?
Well, they could put them in the woods. I don't know if I'd put them in the woods because they'd probably be missing in a little while. That'd be the next thing for the high schoolers to, that's what we do this year. We put them on top of the water towers, don't we?
I don't really care.
I don't either.
You want bears?
Yeah.
If it's paid for.
What I'll do is I'll pass this around, you guys can look it over. But yeah, I think we can swallow this without any problem. And then they want we're supposed to sign off on this. I was gonna, but I figured I'd bring it up to the meeting first before, it's a letter of intent, we'd be interested in having it done. If you guys are up for it, I'll just sign off on this and get it back to Dee Dee and Lisa, we're off on that. But, we have we're interested in it, that's how they're gonna get their funding. We showed we're interested in it, we're gonna behave and let them do the thing, we have some input on what can be put out there. That's all I got.
Looks like a lot of fun.
Sounds more like,
Thanks, man. Okay. Planning Commission is getting ready for the great book revival. Starting next week, isn't it, Brian? Book reveal.
Pardon me?
The Planning Commission's gonna start the redo of the book.
I am not aware of that. I'm
Okay.
sorry. It has not been discussed at a meeting that I've attended.
There's some kind of meeting next week, I was told by Jesse that a great reading of the book's gonna happen.
Next meeting, okay? I wasn't up
He's got a book about that thick already.
Oh, okay. My apologies. There is a preliminary draft of the UDO revision that has been circulated. I've got a copy, you've had a copy.
I'll give you my copy.
Okay, you've had a copy. And it'll be discussed. There's a series of meetings scheduled and so on, and the planning commission is, making suggestions and so on. So my apologies on the confusion.
What about a training center for
The trainings, yeah, we've got that scheduled, I believe, for, February 24th. I don't know what day it's on the books, I know that, I just don't recall the. And I'm essentially prepared for that. In fact, I pulled together some materials the other day. Let me take a look here.
That'd be a Saturday.
Now, let's take a look at this. I hate looking, okay. There's a workshop on the UDO on the 27th of February at 6 p.m. And there was some discussion about doing it in conjunction.
Yeah, I kind of just left it up to you guys on that.
On the 27th?
Yep.
At 6 p.m.?
That's, yeah, now that's on the UDO, and so the workshop, if you will, may start earlier, assuming people are available.
Okay. And we will have to post that.
Yes. But it's just the special meeting posting, it's not problematic, and you have plenty of time to do it.
Okay, that's just all on that. Fire board, we're gonna have another executive session.
Yeah, to reschedule the canceled one for March 4th at 7. Christy couldn't be here and is the liaison of the fire department. That was what she sent me, to see if March the 4th at 7 p.m. would work. I've talked to Charles Kyle. He said it's good for him and he would talk to his board tomorrow when they have their meeting. So he thought it was okay. So if everybody can do that.
Is there any special posting we have to do on that?
Notice must be given of an executive session by posting the notice at the place where the meeting will occur. And my concern the last time is, I looked here, I looked there, I didn't see anything posted. I did see an executive session posted from December of last year. And so the notice must state, under the statute, the subject matter of the executive session, cite the provision of the statute invoked, and go from there.
So on the door.
in this little,
Yeah, I mean,
We got that little-
here in that glass notice
Yes.
board or across the way, take the door. And I'm gonna give you a template for notice and a little chart.
Yes.
What's required.
Thank you.
That will take care of that.
So March 7th,
March 4th.
March 4th.
At 7.
That's it.
And I'll let you know that for sure tomorrow when I
Okay.
hear back from Charles Kyle. He was good with it, and I think, it's up to you. If he's good with it,
I'm good.
do we just move on or, he wasn't sure if his board members would be able to make it, but he said he could. So I can let you know definite tomorrow night once he lets me know.
We can zoom that again too if needed.
I did.
Okay, to catch Jerry. Yeah, because Jerry will be out of town, so we can offer that to him. I'm Zoom on vacation, he can Zoom on vacation.
And the fire board meeting is it next week or the following?
It is
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Thursday.
Okay.
Is it tomorrow?
Because the first Thursday
This is
fell on,
tomorrow.
I know, it's the first Thursday.
Fire board tomorrow.
Seems like it should be next week.
I know.
Don't count on it.
We should have some of the plaques for the firemen that's passed away. I think.
Elaine did that.
Okay.
She's got some of them.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll have everything for tomorrow night. And then we need to notify some of these families if they can come.
You probably should have notified them before the
That's
next.
kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, probably.
Don't plan on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it the
we'll
next
do it.
meeting.
Yeah.
We'll
I
reach
know.
out to the families.
Because I know some of the families won't bring more than just the family member. So, let's just wait till the following. That'll give us quite a bit of time. Okay. Anything else, fire? Miscellaneous? Brad?
Two IT things, the sign out front is, the lights are burned out in it, the weather station doesn't work, and we're starting to lose some of the red bulbs for the actual message area. So I didn't know if that's something that we want to look at do, repair, how we want to handle that. I can't think how old that sign is, but I know it's at least 5 years now.
I think we need checking to do. Somebody can see.
Probably 10 years old, isn't it?
Maybe it's got some years on it, yeah.
We're kind of limited what we can do with that too, aren't we?
We get Kane out here to see if they can do something about it. We give them a call, see what they can do.
Yeah, just part of it.
And then the other thing, we will be needing new laptops for the police department, probably either end of the year, first of next year. We're over 5 years old on them now. I'd like to pick up some RAM to see if I can extend the life a little bit on them. If I go double the memory, it's gonna be around $70. If I go max amount, it's about $120.
Per computer
Laptop,
or per laptop?
per laptop.
Go neighbors down.
Just gonna say, is that a Band-Aid or is it,
Here's
More of a-
here's the issue that we're running into, and it's not just us, it's also the county. What has happened is they're requiring us to run multiple programs now, just all the time. We have e-ticket, we have CAD, we have mapping, we have, email, we've got all this stuff running. The county's running on 8 gigs of RAM, we're running on 16, and I checked my laptop last night with everything running, and I've got about 9 left out of 16. So the stuff they just keep putting on top of us to run all the time, these systems just aren't.
I just didn't know if what you were trying to do is just a Band-Aid or if it's going to really
How old are
save
the
it,
ones?
really prolong it and,
Our laptops are at 5 years right now, they're out of warranty, so we're at 5 years right now.
We've got, that could fall into the safety fund. We got $100,000 in that.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I can pull it up.
I mean, it's getting up there.
We
I
don't
just
spend
don't
a lot.
want,
If that's all you need, perfect, great, let's do it, move on, but if we need something
but if you tell
more-
me we're gonna spend $120 on each computer and then turn around at the end of the year and have to
Yeah.
replace it.
6 months or a year.
We're gonna spend about 2,000, 2,500 each probably on laptop each,
How many do we need?
free. There is cheaper versions, but if you, the rugged ones that we went with this time have lasted a lot longer than the non-rugged that we bought before. And so it's just wear and tear from being beat around in the car, used 8 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
5 years, I think
I
this
say, since you got
technology.
the money in the safety fund, let's just go ahead and buy it.
I'd replace them rather than go through,
Yeah.
tear it
I'll
apart.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, just let me know about the board.
I know. Tomorrow, send you an email. I am prepared. But I have to go around. All right, we're gonna.
Minutes, right, no, I get that, sorry.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What do you?
They're not too.
Sound like your mom. Not yet, you sound like my mom.